Hi guys, I'm Olivia here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I'm here to give you a book review of The Girl in the Broken Mirror by Savita Kalhan. Now before I start this review, I just want to say it will be spoiler free, and also I want to make this very, very clear. This book is about a teenage girl who gets raped. It is a book about rape, and that trigger warning needs to be there, and when I read the synopsis I did not get the implication that it was going to be about rape at all. Thankfully I'm someone who is able to read about the topic, and I do not mind reading about the topic, but I know that lots of people would not feel very comfortable if they go into this book, expect something else, and then find out that it's centred on rape. You can read the synopsis in the link down below in the comment box. I've linked to the Goodreads as well as Amazon and the book depository, and well, it just didn't give me the implication that it was going to be about that at all. Having given that huge trigger warning that needed to be there out of the way, I can say that I felt like this book was one that really hit me hard, really got to my emotional side, and I'm very, very glad that I read it. The beginning was a bit of a slow start. We slowly get into the story, we're slowly getting into the characters, which seems a bit odd because the prologue just throws you into the post-rape situation, and then the next bit, chapter 1, kind of rewinds onto where the story actually starts and then continues up until the moment that we read in the prologue and then goes beyond. I thought the beginning was quite slow, which is a bit of a negative for the book because if I hadn't had that prologue I know that I wouldn't have wanted to keep reading, so it's quite strategic that it's there and placed there. Kudos to the author, but I wish she'd sped up the beginning a little bit. However, it did give me the ability to know the characters a bit more, and the character development in this one, done so well. The main character, Jaya, is she starts off as 14 and she has her birthday throughout the book and turns 15. Teenage girl whose father has died, they're broke, her mum and her are the only family members and they're broke and they have to go live with her auntie, and she doesn't really enjoy living there because her auntie is very traditional, a very traditional kind of Indian, and she's been a bit westernized and integrated into the culture in England, so she's quite reluctant to go back there and back to having to abide by the traditional rules. Jay is a character who is very smart. She knows what she's doing, and I feel like she developed a lot in the book, but not in a way that she should have needed to. She should have been able to enjoy her youth for a lot longer, but you know, the rape happens and she just goes through so much and she becomes like a teenager, a little woman by the end of the book, and it kind of breaks my heart because she's had some of her childhood and teenagerhood stolen from her by the rapist, and it just, it hit me hard. But there were also other characters in this book that I really, really loved. There's Ash, who is the aunt's son, and he is just such a sweetheart. He's so cute, he's so clumsy, he's so like awkward, nerdy, and it just made my heart so happy. And we've also got Matt, who is Jay's friend in this book, and he's not a deep character. I wish we got to see more of him and more of his thoughts on the matter and how he would have faced the situation a bit more, but the focus is not really on him. But for what the focus is on him, he's juvenile, he's friendly, he's playful, but he still understands adult topics. And I think the playful personality is one that can be developed a bit more in young adult, you know, who get the picture but are also just having fun and making the most out of life, if that makes any sense. I also really liked the cultural discussion in this book because, yes, as I said, you've got the tension between the Indian traditional culture and the Western English culture, and where Jay kind of falls in between them both. And I did appreciate the discussions that they had about clothing, about what she can and cannot do, and as someone who is an immigrant myself, but not from two very contrasting cultures like these two, but from less contrasting cultures, I did understand to a little bit, and I got to know a little bit more about the Indian culture, but not that much detail. So it's a diverse read, but not focused on the diverse aspect, more focused on the sexual assault aspect. Now it's time to talk about the sexual assault section of the book. It was emotional, it was hard-hitting, and it really just, anything that happened post-rape situation, post-assault, hit me in the heart, hit me so hard. My emotions were like, I was reading this in public on the coach back to uni, and I had to just like close the book and process for a second because so much was happening and she was hurting so much. It just really broke my heart. I don't even have words. I don't have words. I also really approved of the writing style for this one because the author chose to have a very simplistic, straightforward writing style. And in the beginning I was like, okay, you know, a bit more description would be nice, a bit more touching up. But then when it came to the second half of the story, I appreciated that it was so straightforward. We're not getting any nonsense, we're not getting any flowering about the situation to make it water it down or anything like that. It is what it is. And the author is clearly showing through her writing style that the situation is what it is. Jay's emotions that she's feeling afterwards are what they are. You cannot argue with them. You have not been in that situation. That's coming from me. I have not been in that situation, so I cannot speak. This is her emotions, and whether you approve of it or not, you won't know what she's going through until you've been in a similar situation yourself, and I hope that you will not be in a similar situation as she was in. Also, this book does play a little bit on the mystery side of things, which I did appreciate, because in the prologue you get zoomed straight into immediately post the assault, but then you go back to the beginning and you don't know who it is that has assaulted her. So in the beginning, when you're introduced to all the characters, I kept thinking like, is this person dodgy? Is this person the one who's done this to her? Who is it? So you've got that bit of a mystery power play to take you up until the point where the emotional stuff kicks in. So, I mean, as a story, you can see that it's well planned and well written. Also, this book just deals with so many complicated relationships, especially the one between mother and daughter. They have a lot of tensions, they have a lot of miscommunication, they have a lot of feelings and things that they have to sort through to get to where they are by the end of the novel. And I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but the complicated relationships definitely a plus. Relationships are never straightforward, and in situations like this I can understand how relationships can get complicated. That's all I have to say about this novel. You've got your trigger warning, and I hope you will be able to pick up this book if it's one for you. If it's not, I completely understand. Okay, let me know in the comment section down below which topics you find especially hard to read about. It doesn't even have to be, sexual assault, something as deep as that. It could be, you find it hard to read World War II, you find it hard to read horror, you find it hard to read humour because it doesn't translate to you well. Let me know what books and what topics you struggle to read down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button to see more, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be updated every time I have a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.